Your door is frozen shut. You push, it does not move. You look through the glass. The world is white. You see no roads. You see no fences. The great snow of 1717 has buried your life. You are a young father. Your daughter has a fever. The medicine is 5 miles away, but the snow is 10 feet deep. There are no tracks. There are no footsteps. Every path is erased. You realize you are trapped. If you stay, she dies. If you walk, the white void swallows you whole. You feel the cold seep through the wood. It is coming for you. This is not a legend. This is your survival. You must choose. Will the silence take you, or will you find a way where no path exists? The year is 1717. You are Thomas. You live in a small timber house in Massachusetts. The wind howls outside. It sounds like a ghost. You sit by the hearth. The fire is small. You have 3 logs left. Your wife sits in the corner. She holds a thin blanket. The windows are covered in thick frost. You cannot see the barn. You cannot see the well. The storm has lasted 4 days. The sky is a heavy gray. It feels like the world ended while you slept. You hear the wood groan. The weight of the snow is crushing the roof. Everything is still. Everything is quiet. You smell the pine smoke. You feel the ache in your bones. The winter is a heavy blanket. It is time to rest your mind. I am glad you found this quiet place. Where are you watching from tonight? What time is it in your part of the world? Please find your favorite blanket. Wrap it tight around your shoulders. Take a deep breath. Let the air fill your chest. Let it out slowly. Settle into your chair. Relax your hands. Relax your jaw. You are safe here. If you enjoy these stories, please subscribe to our circle. Like this video to help others find rest. Share a comment about your favorite winter memory. Let us begin our journey into the white silence. The wood in the fireplace pops. You flinch at the sound. It is the only noise in the house. Your daughter lies on the narrow rope bed. Her breath is fast. It is shallow. Her skin looks like pale wax. You touch her forehead. It burns your palm. You look at your wife. Her eyes are red from crying. She does not look away from the child. You see her hands shaking. She is terrified. Outside, the wind hits the side of the house. It is a physical blow. The timber walls creak. The house feels small. It feels like a box. You are Thomas. You are a farmer. You know the land. You know every rock. You know every stream. But today the land is gone. The great snow of 1717 has taken it. This is not a normal winter. The elders spoke of cold. They spoke of ice. They never spoke of this. The sky has been falling for 96 hours. The flakes are large. They are heavy. They pile up against the door. They climb the walls. They reach for the roof. You are buried alive. You look at the clock on the mantle. It is 3 in the afternoon. The light is already fading. The world is turning a bruised purple. You think of the medicine. It sits in a glass bottle. It is on a shelf in the village. The village is 5 miles to the east. 5 miles is nothing in the spring. It is a pleasant walk in the summer. Now it is a distance to the moon. You cannot use the horses. The stable is a mound of white. The door to the stable is blocked by 6 feet of drift. The horses are shivering in the dark. They have hay. They have water for now. But they cannot move. You cannot lead them through this. Their legs would snap. You are the only hope. You stand up. Your knees ache. The room is cold. The heat from the fire stays within 3 feet of the hearth. Beyond that, the air is ice. You see your breath. It hangs in the air like a ghost. You walk to the window. You scrape a circle in the frost with your fingernail. You look out. There are no trees. There are no fences. The stone walls you built are gone. The world is a flat white sea. The wind carves waves in the snow. It looks like the ocean. It is beautiful. It is deadly. You feel a hand on your arm. It is your wife. She looks at you. She does not speak. She does not have to. You both hear the child cough. It is a dry sound. It is a hard sound. It breaks the silence. You know what you must do. You go to the corner. You find your heavy boots. They are made of thick leather. You rubbed them with tallow last week. You hope the grease keeps the water out. You pull them on. You tug the laces tight. You feel the leather pinch your skin. You put on your wool stockings. You put on a second pair. You put on a third pair. Your feet feel huge. You put on your heavy coat. It is made of thick grey wool. It is heavy. It smells of sheep and wood smoke. You wrap a scarf around your neck. You wrap it twice. You pull your hat low. You find your mittens. They are boiled wool. They are stiff. You look at your wife. She hands you a leather bag. It is empty. It is for the medicine. You loop the strap over your shoulder. You feel the weight of the bag. It is light. It will be heavy later. You go to the door. You lean your shoulder against the wood. You push. The door does not budge. The snow is piled high against the outside. You push harder. You grunt with the effort. The wood groans. A thin line of white powder falls from the top of the frame. You shove with all your strength. The door moves an inch. Cold air rushes in. It smells sharp. It smells like metal. It stings your nose. You push again. You create a crack wide enough for your body. You squeeze through. You are outside. The snow is up to your chest. It is cold. It is so cold it feels hot. It burns your skin. You struggle to stand. You sink. Your feet do not find the ground. You are floating in a white void. You look back at your house. Only the chimney is visible. Smoke rises in a thin line. It is the only sign of life. You look east. You see nothing. There is no sun. There is only a dim glow behind the clouds. You take a step. Your leg disappears. You pull it out. You take another step. You sink again. It takes 1 minute to move 3 feet. Your heart is already pounding. You are sweating under your wool coat. The sweat will turn to ice soon. You must keep moving. You look at the sky. More flakes are falling. They are silent. They are soft. They are erasing your footsteps as soon as you make them. You are alone. You are in the middle of a white desert. You turn your back to the wind. You begin to walk. You do not know if you will find the village. You do not know if you will find your way home. You only know the fever is rising. You only know the path is gone. You are the only person left in the world. The silence is a weight. It presses on your ears. You hear your own blood rushing. You hear your own heart. It is a steady drum. It tells you to live. It tells you to move. You push forward. The snow pulls at you. It wants you to lie down. It wants you to sleep. You do not sleep. You step. You sink. You pull. You step. The journey has begun. The wind screams in your ears. It is a high sound. It is a sharp sound. You cannot see the horizon. You cannot see the sun. You only see white. You move forward. Each step is a battle. You lift your right leg. You pull it out of the deep snow. You swing it forward. You drop it down. You sink. You sink to your waist. You sink to your chest. The snow is light. It is like feathers. But there are billions of feathers. They weigh you down. They trap your limbs. You breathe hard. The air is thin. The air is freezing. Your lungs feel like they are filling with needles. You stop for a moment. You turn around. You look for your house. It is gone. The white wall of the storm has hidden it. You are 10 yards away. You are 50 yards away. You do not know. The scale of the world has changed. There are no landmarks. The great oak tree is buried. The stone walls are buried. You are walking on top of the world. You are walking on top of the fences. You are a giant in a land of ice. But you feel small. You feel like an ant in a bowl of sugar. You look at your hands. Your mittens are covered in white dust. You brush them together. The sound is soft. It is a dry sound. You think of the child. You think of the heat of her skin. It is the only thing that keeps you warm. Your toes are starting to go numb. This is a danger. You know this. Numbness is the first step of the end. You wiggle your toes inside your boots. You feel the leather. You feel the wool. You keep the blood moving. You must keep the blood moving. You look at the sky. It is a flat sheet of lead. There is no direction in the clouds. You must use the wind. The wind comes from the north. It hits your left cheek. You must keep the wind on your left cheek. If it hits your back, you are lost. If it hits your face, you are lost. You are a human compass. You push through a drift. It is higher than your head. You have to swim through it. You use your arms. You churn the snow. It gets into your sleeves. It gets into your collar. It melts against your neck. The water is cold. It runs down your spine. You shiver. The shiver is good. It means you are alive. You think of the village. You think of the apothecary. He has the bark. He has the herbs. He has the glass bottles of red liquid. You can see the shop in your mind. It smells of dried peppermint. It smells of clove. It is warm there. He has a large stove. He keeps it hot. You imagine sitting by that stove. You imagine the steam rising from your coat. You imagine the smell of wet wool. This thought is a fire in your mind. You use it to take another step. The snow gets deeper. You are in a low spot. You are walking over the creek. You do not see the water. The water is under 10 feet of ice and snow. You pray the ice is thick. You hear a dull thud beneath your feet. The snow settles. It drops 2 inches. Your heart stops. You hold your breath. You wait for the crack. You wait for the cold water to take you. The silence returns. The ice holds. You move quickly. You crawl on your hands and knees. You spread your weight. You look like a beast. You look like a bear. You reach the other side. You stand up. You are shaking. Your heart is a drum in your chest. You are tired. You are so tired. You have only gone 1/4 of a mile. You have 4 miles to go. The math is hard. The math is cruel. You do not think of the math. You think of the next step. You think of the next breath. You look at your tracks. They are filling in. The wind is a broom. It is sweeping away your life. It is erasing your path. You are the first man to walk here in days. You will be the last for a long time. You see a shape in the distance. It is dark. It is vertical. It is a tree branch. It is the top of a giant elm. Usually this branch is 20 feet in the air. Now it is at your waist. You reach out. You touch the bark. It is rough. It is real. It is something other than white. You hold it for a moment. It is a friend. You lean against it. You close your eyes. Just for a second. The world is so quiet. The wind is a lullaby. The snow is a pillow. You feel a heavy sleep pulling at your eyelids. No. You shake your head. You slap your face with your stiff mittens. The sting wakes you. You cannot stop. If you stop, you become a mound. You become a bump in the field. You become a story the elders tell in the spring when the melt comes. You leave the tree. You push back into the void. The wind picks up. It carries fine ice. The ice cuts your skin. You pull your scarf higher. You only leave a slit for your eyes. You are a ghost moving through a white dream. You think of your wife. She is feeding the fire. She is watching the door. She is waiting for the click of the latch. You must make that latch click. You must bring the medicine. You hear a sound. It is a howl. It is not the wind. It is a wolf. The wolves are hungry too. The wolves are trapped in the white. They are looking for anything that moves. You have no gun. You have no knife. You only have your hands. You only have your will. You look around. You see nothing but the grey light. The howl comes again. It is closer. It is to your right. You change your pace. You try to run. You cannot run. You can only plunge. You are a needle stitching a white cloth. You are a man lost in time. You are the winter without footsteps. You are the only movement in a frozen world. You keep the wind on your left cheek. You keep the child in your heart. You keep moving. The howl of the wolf fades into the whistle of the wind. You do not know if the beast is gone, or if the air is simply too thick with ice to carry the sound. Your legs are heavy. They feel like lead pipes. Every time you lift a foot, you must fight the suction of the deep, powdery drifts. You are walking across the Miller farm now. At least, you think it is the Miller farm. You should be seeing their red barn. You should be seeing their tall silo. You see nothing. The snow has leveled the world. It has filled the valleys and smoothed the hills. The geography of your life is gone. You are walking on a blank page. You think about the Miller family. Are they inside? Are they huddling by their fire just like your wife and child? Or has the snow claimed their roof too? You see a strange hummock ahead. It is a large, rounded mound of white. It is too big to be a bush. It is too small to be a hill. You realize it is a hayrick. The tall stacks of winter feed are completely submerged. You are walking 10 feet above the soil. You are walking over the tops of things that used to tower over you. This thought makes your head swim. The perspective is wrong. The world is upside down. You look down at your boots. They are white blocks. You cannot feel your toes anymore. The numbness has moved into the balls of your feet. You try to stomp, but the snow is too soft. There is no hard ground to strike against. It is like stomping into a cloud. You remember a story your grandfather told. He spoke of the winter of 1680. He said the cold was so sharp it cracked the trees open like musket shots. You haven't heard the trees crack yet. The snow is too thick. It acts as a muffler. It soaks up every vibration. It is a world of cotton. You feel a sudden dip. Your left leg goes down deep. You fall forward. Your face hits the snow. It is like hitting cold flour. You try to push yourself up, but your hands sink. You are swimming in it. For a moment, panic rises in your throat. It is a hot, sour taste. You are a strong man. You are a farmer who lifts stones. But strength means nothing here. You are fighting an enemy that has no shape. You roll onto your back. You look up at the sky. The gray clouds are moving fast. They look like a ceiling that is falling down. You take a slow breath. You tell yourself to calm down. You tell yourself to think of the medicine. You think of the small glass vial. It has a cork stopper. It holds the power to make the fever break. You see your daughter's face. You see her golden hair matted with sweat. You see her small hands gripping the quilt. That image is a rope. You grab it. You pull yourself up. You use your elbows. You use your knees. You claw your way back to the surface of the drift. You stand up and shake the snow from your coat. It is inside your sleeves now. It is inside your collar. It begins to melt from your body heat. This is the greatest danger. Wet clothes are a death sentence. The water will pull the heat out of you faster than the air. You must stay dry, but you are already damp. You keep moving. You must generate heat. You must be the fire. You reach a stand of pines. They are the first familiar things you have seen in an hour. The branches are bent low. They look like white arms reaching for the ground. Some have snapped under the weight. The wood is jagged and raw. You move into the shelter of the trees. The wind drops for a second. The silence here is even deeper. It is the silence of a cathedral. You lean your back against a thick trunk. The bark is rough. It catches on your wool coat. You stay for 10 seconds. You count them. 1, 2, 3. You cannot stay for 11. You push off. You move through the trees. The snow is a little shallower here under the canopy. You can see the dark needles. You can smell the sharp scent of resin. It wakes up your senses. You realize how dull your mind has become. The cold makes you slow. It makes you stupid. You have to talk to yourself. You speak aloud. Your voice sounds strange. It is thin. It is tiny. Hello, you say. The woods do not answer. You are heading toward the stone bridge. If you can find the bridge, you know you are halfway. The bridge crosses the Black River. Usually, the river is a rushing torrent of cold water. Today, it will be a road of ice. But the bridge has stone sides. They are 4 feet high. They should be visible. You scan the white horizon. You see a line. It is a straight line in a world of curves. That is the bridge. It is buried, but the wind has swept the top of the masonry clear. You head for it. Every step is a victory. You are a soldier in a war against the frost. You think of the apothecary again. His name is Mr. Gable. He is an old man with spectacles. He stays up late reading books by candlelight. You hope he is awake. You hope he has the fire going. You imagine the bell on his door ringing as you enter. You imagine the look on his face when a ghost made of snow walks into his shop. You are not a ghost yet. You are meat and bone. You are blood and will. You reach the bridge. The stone is cold, even through your mittens. You sit on the edge for a heartbeat. Your heart is racing. You can feel it in your neck. You look down at where the river should be. There is only a flat white plain. The river is silenced. The world is silenced. You are the only thing that moves. You look at your hands, they are white. You cannot tell where the mitten ends and the snow begins. You stand up. You must cross. The village is on the other side of the rise. You can do this. You have to do this. The fever will not wait for the sun. The fever will not wait for the thaw. You step off the bridge and back into the deep. The wind hits you again. It is stronger now. It comes from the open fields. It tries to push you over. You lean into it. You are a mountain. You are a rock. You are Thomas, and you are going to save your child. The wind howls louder as you leave the shelter of the pines. You are on the high ridge now. This is the most exposed part of the journey. The air here does not just blow, it bites, it tears at your wool scarf. It tries to rip the hat from your head. You pull your chin down into your chest. You look only at the snow at your feet. If you look up, the ice crystals blind you. They feel like hot sand hitting your eyeballs. You keep your eyes narrowed to thin slits. You are looking for the next fence post. You are looking for any break in the white. The cold is no longer a feeling. It is a physical weight. It sits on your shoulders. It presses against your ribs. You feel like you are carrying a second man on your back. Your breath is a constant cloud. It freezes into your beard. You can feel the ice pulling at the hair on your face. It pinches your skin. Every time you open your mouth, the moisture on your lips turns to a thin crust. You are becoming part of the winter. You are turning into a statue of ice. You think of the hearth at home. You think of the smell of the stew your wife made yesterday. It was thin. It was mostly water and a few shriveled carrots, but it was hot. You can almost feel the wooden spoon against your teeth. You use that memory to move your left leg. You use the memory of your daughter's laugh to move your right leg. She has not laughed in 3 days. The silence of her room is what drives you. It is a louder sound than the storm. You reach a spot where the snow has drifted into a massive wall. It is 12 feet high. It is a mountain of powder. You cannot go over it. You cannot go through it. You must go around. This means leaving the straight line. This is dangerous. In a storm like this, a straight line is your only friend. If you turn, you might lose the wind. If you lose the wind, you lose your way. You take a deep breath. You step to the right. You follow the base of the drift. It feels like walking beside a white fortress. The snow here is soft. You sink to your waist again. You feel the panic trying to return. You push it down. Panic is a luxury. You do not have time for it. You think of the wood pile back at the house. You wonder if your wife can reach it. The shed is 20 feet from the back door. In this weather, 20 feet is a marathon. You hope she has the strength to pull the logs. You hope she stays warm. You think of the small fire. It is a tiny orange spark in a world of blue and white. You are that spark too. You are a small flame moving through the dark. You see something dark in the snow ahead. It is not a tree. It is not a rock. It is a bird. It is a crow. It is frozen solid. It sits on top of the snow like a piece of coal. It did not have a house. It did not have a fire. The winter took it in its sleep. You look at the bird. It is a warning. You do not stop to pick it up. You do not stop to look closer. You keep moving. The wind shifts. It hits you in the face now. This is wrong. The wind was on your left. You stop. You turn your head. Did the wind change? Or did you turn too far? You look around. There is no house. There is no bridge. There is only the white wall and the gray sky. You are lost. The realization hits you like a bucket of ice water. Your heart hammers against your ribs. You are a man of the woods, and you are lost. You close your eyes. You try to remember the map in your head. The Miller farm, the bridge, the ridge. You should be facing east. The wind was from the north. If the wind is in your face, you are heading north. You must turn right. You must put the wind back on your cheek. You turn your body. You feel the wind move across your skin. There. It is on your left again. You take a step. You pray to the heavy sky. You pray to the frozen earth. You ask for a sign. You ask for a path. You move forward for 10 minutes. Each minute feels like an hour. You are counting your steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. At 500 you will look for a landmark. You reach 400. You reach 450. Then you see it. It is a chimney. It is not your chimney. It is taller. It is made of red brick. It is the steeple of the village church. You are close. The village is buried, but the steeple reaches up like a drowning man's hand. You feel a surge of energy. It is a shot of warmth in your blood. You move faster. You are no longer walking. You are lunging. You are throwing your body forward. The snow is still deep, but you do not care. You see the goal. You see the end of the first half. You reach the first house of the village. It is the blacksmith's shop. The forge is cold. The anvil is covered in white dust. The roof has caved in under the weight. You pass it. You move down what used to be the main street. You are walking at the level of the second-story windows. You see a face in a window. It is a woman. She is pale. She looks at you like you are a ghost. She does not wave. She does not move. She just watches the man of snow pass by. You reach the apothecary. The sign is hanging by one chain. It swings in the wind. It makes a lonely, metallic sound. Creak, creak, creak. You reach the door. It is blocked by a drift. You do not push. You know the apothecary lives upstairs. You climb the drift. You reach the second-floor balcony. You pound on the glass. You use your fist. You use your elbow. The glass is thick with ice. You scream. But your voice is a whisper. Help, you say. Please. You see a light move inside. A yellow glow. It is a candle. The door opens a crack. A face appears. It is Mr. Gable. He looks at you with wide eyes. He pulls you inside. The air is warm. It is so warm it hurts. You fall to your knees on the wooden floor. You are safe. For now. The warmth of the apothecary shop is a shock. It is not a kind warmth. It is a sharp, stinging heat that makes your skin crawl. You lie on the floor. You feel the ice in your beard beginning to melt. The water drips onto the dark wood. It makes a rhythmic tapping sound. Mr. Gable stands over you. He holds a lamp. The yellow light flickers. It casts long dancing shadows against the walls. The walls are lined with hundreds of small drawers. There are glass jars filled with roots. There are bottles filled with powders. The air smells of camphor. It smells of dried lavender and old paper. It is the smell of hope. Mr. Gable does not ask how you got here. He sees your frozen coat. He sees your white face. He knows. He sets the lamp on a table. He grabs a heavy wool blanket from a chair. He wraps it around your shoulders. You are still shivering. Your body is shaking so hard your teeth clatter. You try to speak. Your tongue feels like a piece of dry leather. You manage to say one word. Medicine. You say it again, medicine. Mr. Gable nods. He moves to the back of the shop. You hear him clinking glass. You hear the scratch of a pen. You pull the blanket tighter. You feel the blood returning to your fingers. It feels like 1,000 bees are stinging your tips. This is the pain of life returning. You welcome it. You look around the room. It is a sanctuary. There is a small iron stove in the corner. It is glowing a dull red. You want to crawl to it. You want to put your face against the metal. But you stay still. You must not get too warm too fast. You know the rules of the frost. You watch the old man. He is careful. He measures a dark powder. He pours it into a small blue bottle. He adds a clear liquid. He shakes it. The liquid turns a deep purple. It looks like the sky before a storm. He corks the bottle. He wraps it in a piece of oilcloth. He ties it with a string. He comes back to you. He kneels on the floor. He hands you a tin cup. It is warm. It is tea. It is bitter. It tastes of bark and honey. You drink it in one long swallow. You feel the heat move down your throat. You feel it spread into your chest. You look at the blue bottle in his hand. Is that it? You ask. Your voice is coming back. It is rough. It is a growl. Yes, the old man says. His voice is soft. It is like the rustle of leaves. This will break the fever. 2 drops every hour. No more. If the heart races stop, he puts the bottle into your leather bag. He pulls the strap tight. He looks at your boots. You cannot go back tonight, he says. The wind is rising. The sun is gone. You will die in the drifts. You look at the window. He is right. The grey light has turned to black. The wind is a physical roar now. It shakes the entire building. You think of your house. You think of the small fire. You think of your daughter. She does not have until morning. The fever is a fire too. It is burning her up. If you wait for the sun, you will be bringing medicine to a grave. You shake your head. No, you say. I go now. Mr. Gable looks at you. He sees the look in your eyes. He does not argue. He knows the weight of a father's heart. He goes to a chest. He pulls out a pair of snowshoes. They are made of ash wood and rawhide. They are wide. They look like the wings of a giant bird. These were my father's, he says. They will keep you on top of the crust. If the wind has packed the snow, you will walk like a god. If it is soft, you will still sink, but not to your death. He helps you stand. Your legs are like jelly. You lean against the counter. You find your balance. You put on your coat. It is heavy and damp. You put on your hat. You wrap your scarf. You move to the door. Mr. Gable helps you strap the snowshoes to your boots. The leather thongs are cold. They bite into your ankles. You feel the change in your stance. You feel wider. You feel stable. You look at the old man. Thank you, you say. He does not speak. He just touches your shoulder. He opens the door. The winter rushes in. It is a wall of white needles. The heat of the shop is sucked out in a second. You step out onto the balcony. You look down at the street. It is gone. There is only a white river of wind. You step off the edge of the wood. The snowshoes catch. You sink only 6 inches. You feel a thrill of hope. You are on top of the world. You are no longer swimming. You are walking. You turn your back to the village. You look toward the ridge. You cannot see it. You can see nothing. But you know the wind. The wind is now on your right cheek. It will lead you home. You step forward. The snowshoes make a soft sound. Crunch. Slide. Crunch. Slide. You are a ghost again. You are the shadow in the storm. You move into the dark. The blue bottle is a heavy weight against your side. It is the most precious thing in the world. You move toward the bridge. You move toward the pines. You move toward the small house with the thin line of smoke. You are coming. You are bringing the life back to the hearth. The dark is total. The white is absolute. You are the only light left. The night is a physical thing. It is not just the absence of light. It is a thick, heavy curtain of cold. You move through the darkness with a rhythm you did not have before. The snowshoes change everything. You are no longer a drowning man. You are a sailor on a white sea. The ash wood frames creak with every step. The rawhide webbing hums against the crust of the snow. You feel the wind hitting your right cheek now. It is your only guide. The world has no up or down. It has no left or right. It only has the wind and the cold. You reach the edge of the village. The houses are mounds of shadow. You see no lights in the windows. People are huddling in their beds. They are trying to breathe the same air twice to stay warm. You are the only thing moving in the midnight of the world. You think about the blue bottle. You reach down and touch the leather bag. It is there. It is cold, but the oilcloth protects it. You must not fall. If you fall and the bottle breaks, the world ends. You imagine the purple liquid soaking into the white snow. You imagine the silence that would follow. That thought makes you grip your walking stick tighter. You found a sturdy branch near the apothecary door. It is your third leg. It probes the snow ahead of you. It looks for hollows. It looks for traps. You reach the open field. Here the wind is a monster. It has traveled miles over the frozen hills just to hit you. It carries the ice of the north. It carries the breath of the Arctic. You lean your body at an angle. You are walking like a man tilted on a slope. You are fighting for every inch. The snowshoes are wide, but the wind tries to catch them like sails. It tries to trip you. It tries to flip your feet. You focus on your breathing. You take a breath on the right step. You let it out on the left step. You are a machine. You are a clock. You are the only heartbeat for miles. You reach the ridge again. The climb is harder now. Your muscles are screaming. The tea from the apothecary has worn off. The false warmth is gone. Your core is cooling. You feel a deep, hollow ache in your chest. It is the cold reaching for your heart. You think of the fire. You think of the 3 logs you had left. By now, the fire must be low. Your wife must be breaking the furniture. She must be tearing the slats from the bed to keep the child warm. You imagine the sound of the axe in the kitchen. You imagine the smell of burning pine. You use this to fuel your legs. You reach the top of the ridge. The wind here is so loud you cannot hear your own thoughts. It is a roar. It is 1,000 horses galloping over the ice. You see a flicker of light. It is not a star. The sky is too thick for stars. It is a spark. It is far away. It is to the west. It is the chimney of the Miller farm. They are alive. Their fire is still burning. This gives you a strange comfort. You are not the last man. You are part of a chain of survivors. You move past the ridge and start the descent. Going down is more dangerous. The snowshoes can slide. If you slide, you tumble. If you tumble, you lose the bag. You move slowly. You use the stick to anchor yourself. You are a spider crawling down a white wall. You think of the child's fever. Does it have a sound? In the silence of the night, you think you can hear it. You think you can hear the hum of the sickness. You shake your head. The cold is playing tricks on your mind. It is the white madness. The elders warn of it. You see things that are not there. You see doors in the snow. You see faces in the clouds. You must stay in the now. You must stay in the step. You reach the bottom of the slope. You are near the creek. You remember the thud of the ice from the trip out. You look for the bridge. The dark makes it a ghost. You find the line of the masonry. You cross it with the grace of a shadow. You are halfway home. The wind shifts. It drops for a second. The sudden silence is terrifying. It is like the world is holding its breath. Then the wind returns with a new direction. It hits you from behind. This is the worst thing. It pushes you. It tries to run you into the drifts. You cannot feel the direction on your cheek anymore. You are blind in the dark. You stop. You wait. You pray for the wind to find its place. You stand still for a minute. Your sweat begins to freeze. You can feel the ice forming under your armpits. You must move. You guess the way. You follow the slope of the land. You feel the ground with your feet through the snowshoes. You are looking for the dip of the valley. You are looking for the path that leads to your door. You are a blind man in a room of ice. You take a step, then another. You are moving by instinct. You are moving by love. You are the winter without footsteps, returning to the hearth. The wind is a deceptive guide. It shifts and swirls. It pulls at your coat like a persistent beggar. You are standing in the middle of a vast, white emptiness. You have lost the pressure of the air against your left cheek. The dark is so thick you cannot see your own hand in front of your face. You hold your hand up. You see nothing. You are a soul floating in a void. You feel the panic rising again. It is a cold lump in your stomach. You think of the blue bottle in your bag. You think of the child. You cannot be lost. To be lost is to fail. To fail is to lose everything. You stand perfectly still. You try to listen. You do not listen for the wind. You listen for the land. You know this valley. You have plowed these fields for 10 years. You know where the ground rises to the big rock. You know where it dips into the old orchard. You move your right foot. You feel the slope. The ground is falling away to the left. This means you are on the edge of the north pasture. If you follow the slope down, you will find the line of the old stone wall. The wall is buried, but the snow over it will be packed differently. You move slowly. You use your walking stick to poke the snow. You are a blind man feeling for a familiar face. You take 10 steps. You poke the snow. It is soft. You take 10 more steps. You poke again. The stick hits something hard. It is not ice. It is a solid, flat surface. You have found the wall. You feel a surge of relief that is so strong it makes your eyes water. The tears freeze instantly on your lashes. You do not care. You have a tether. You follow the line of the wall. It leads straight to the orchard. You move with more confidence now. The snowshoes are your wings. You glide over the surface of the buried world. You think about the trees in the orchard. They are apple trees. They were planted by your father. In the spring, they are white with blossoms. In the fall, they are heavy with red fruit. Now, they are skeletons. They are buried up to their necks in white. You see the tips of the branches sticking out of the snow. They look like the fingers of 1,000 buried men. You move through them. The wood is brittle. It snaps as you pass. The sound is like a pistol shot in the silence. It startles you. Your heart jumps. You are on edge. You are a hunted animal. You are being hunted by the cold. You see a shape ahead. It is a square of darkness. It is the barn. Your barn. You are home. You want to shout. You want to scream for your wife. But you save your breath. You need every ounce of oxygen for the final push. The barn is 50 feet from the house. But the wind has created a massive drift between the two buildings. It is a wall of white that looks like a frozen wave. It is 20 feet high. It blocks the path to the kitchen door. You cannot go over it. The snow is too fresh. It would collapse and bury you. You must go around the front of the house. This means facing the full force of the gale coming off the open fields. You turn the corner of the barn. The wind hits you like a physical weight. It knocks the air out of your lungs. You stagger. You drop to one knee. The snowshoes twist under you. You feel a sharp pain in your ankle. You groan. You bite your lip. You cannot be hurt now. You pull yourself up. You lean against the rough wood of the barn wall. You take a breath. You move forward, hugging the building. You reach the end of the barn. Now there is only the open space between you and the front porch. It is 30 feet. It might as well be 30 miles. You see the house. It looks like a white mound. There is no light in the windows. Your heart sinks. Is the fire out? Are they gone? You see a tiny, faint glow at the top of the chimney. A single spark flies into the night and is swallowed by the blackness. They are there. They are still fighting. You leave the shelter of the barn. You plunge into the open. The wind tries to throw you down. You crawl. You do not walk. You get on your hands and knees. You drag the snowshoes behind you. You move like a wounded beast. You reach the porch. The steps are gone. There is only a ramp of ice. You claw your way up. You reach the door. You find the latch. It is frozen. You take off your mitten. You put your bare hand on the iron. The cold of the metal sears your skin. It feels like a branding iron. You do not let go. You use the heat of your palm to melt the ice. You feel the skin of your hand sticking to the metal. You pull. The latch clicks. You throw your weight against the wood. The door gives way. You fall inside. You are on the floor of your own kitchen. The air is dim. The fire is a bed of glowing coals. Your wife is there. She is standing by the bed. She has an axe in her hand. She looks at you with wild eyes. She does not recognize you at first. You are a white ghost. You are a monster of ice. Then she sees your eyes. She drops the axe. It hits the floor with a thud. "Thomas," she whispers. You do not speak. You reach into the leather bag. You pull out the oilcloth. You hand her the blue bottle. Your work is done. You feel the darkness closing in. You feel the warmth of the room pulling you down into a deep, heavy sleep. You have brought the life back to the house. You have conquered the winter without footsteps. The heat of the room is a heavy hand pressing you into the floorboards. You lie there as the snow on your coat begins to turn into pools of dark water. Your wife, Mary, is on her knees beside you. She is not hugging you. She is tearing at the leather bag. She finds the blue bottle. She sees the purple liquid. She knows what it is. She does not ask how you survived. She does not ask about the 5 miles of white death you just crossed. She moves to the bed. You hear the clink of a spoon against glass. You hear her whispering to the child. "Drink," she says. "Just a drop, my sweet." You hear a small moan. It is a weak sound. It is the sound of a fading candle, but it is a sound. You close your eyes. The floor is hard, but it feels like a cloud. You are drifting. You feel your boots being pulled off. Your wife is tugging at the frozen leather. Her hands are warm. They feel like fire against your numb ankles. She pulls the wet wool stockings away. She rubs your feet. She uses a dry cloth. She rubs until the skin turns red. It hurts. It feels like your feet are being held in a flame. You want to pull away, but you have no strength. You are a rag doll. You are a piece of driftwood washed up on a shore. Mary leaves you for a moment. She goes to the hearth. She takes the last of the furniture. It is a small stool. She breaks it with the back of the axe. She throws the pieces into the coals. A bright yellow flame leaps up. The light fills the room. It shows the frost on the inside of the walls. It shows the empty cupboards. It shows the hollow cheeks of your wife. She has not eaten. She has given everything to the child. She brings you a bowl. It is warm water. There is nothing else left to cook. You drink it. It tastes of wood and iron. It is the best thing you have ever tasted. You find your voice. It is a low rasp. "How is she?" you ask. Mary looks at the bed. "Her fever is still high," she says, "but she swallowed the medicine." Now we wait. You manage to sit up. You lean your back against the wall. You look at your hands. They are white and wrinkled. They do not look like your hands. They look like the hands of an old man. You look at the snowshoes leaning by the door. They are the only reason you are alive. Mr. Gable is a saint, you think. You think of the village. You think of the silence there. You are the only person who knows that the world still exists outside this house. To your wife, this room is the entire universe. The wind hits the house again. It is a different sound now. You are on the inside. The roar is a reminder of what you escaped. It is a reminder of the power of the great snow. You look at the clock. It is 2 in the morning. The night is far from over. The fire is small. The wood is almost gone. You look around the room. What is left to burn? There is the table. There are the remaining 2 chairs. There is the heavy chest that held your mother's linens. You look at the floorboards. You have a saw in the shed, but the shed is a mountain of snow away. You must use the axe. You must destroy your home to save your family. You stand up. Your legs shake, but they hold. You pick up the axe. It is heavy. Your muscles groan. You walk to the table. This table was built by your father. It is solid oak. It has seen every meal of your life. It has seen the birth of your daughter. You raise the axe. You hesitate. Then you hear the child cough. It is a wet, rattling cough. You do not hesitate again. The blade bites into the wood. The sound is a sharp crack. It echoes in the small house. You swing again and again. You are not a farmer now. You are a provider. You are a protector. You break the table into long splinters. You feed the fire. The flames grow. They turn from yellow to white. The room gets warmer. You move to the bed. You sit on the edge. You look at your daughter. Her eyes are closed. Her lashes are dark against her pale skin. You reach out and touch her cheek. It is still hot. But it is not the dry, searing heat of before. There is a slight dampness. She is starting to sweat. This is the sign. The medicine is working. The purple liquid is fighting the fire inside her. You look at Mary. She is sitting on the floor, her head resting against the bed frame. She is asleep. She is exhausted beyond words. You are the only one awake. You are the watchman. You sit with the axe in your hand. You watch the fire. You watch the child. You listen to the wind. You realize that the paths are still erased. The footsteps are still gone, but the heart of the house is beating. You have brought the spark back from the dark. You will sit here until the sun comes. You will burn every piece of wood you own. You will keep the cold at bay. You are Thomas. You are the man who walked through the white void. You are the father who came home. The fire consumes the oak. The flames are greedy. They eat the history of your family in minutes. You sit on the floor. Your back is against the bed. You feel the vibration of your daughter's breathing through the wood of the frame. It is stronger. It is more rhythmic. The rattle in her chest is turning into a soft whistle. You watch the frost on the walls. In the light of the burning table, the ice looks like diamonds. It is beautiful. It is also a reminder that the world outside is still trying to get in. The cold is a living thing. It is a beast that waits for the fire to die. You look at the blue bottle on the nightstand. It is half empty. You have survived the walk. You have survived the wind. Now you must survive the wait. The hours between 2 in the morning and dawn are the longest hours of a man's life. This is when the mind wanders. This is when the ghosts come. You think about the path you took. You think about the white void. You realize that you cannot see your own house from the ridge. You realize how lucky you were to find the wall. It was not luck. It was something else. It was the land speaking to you. You are part of this soil. You have bled into it during the harvest. You have sweated into it during the planting. The land knew you were there. It offered you the stone wall like a hand. You feel a deep connection to the frozen earth. You are not its master. You are its guest. You look at Mary. She is still asleep. Her face is peaceful in the orange light. You realize how much weight she has lost. Her dress hangs loose on her shoulders. She has been fighting her own war here. She has been fighting the silence. She has been fighting the fear of being left alone in a wooden box buried in the snow. You reach out and touch her hand. It is cold. You take your wool coat. It is mostly dry now. You lay it over her. She stirs but does not wake. You are the only one left to hold the line. You look at the fire. The table legs are gone. Only the top remains. You take the axe. You split the oak planks. You do it quietly. You do not want to wake the peace in the room. Each strike of the axe is a heartbeat. Crack, pause, crack, pause. You are measuring the time in splinters. You think about the spring. It feels like a myth. You try to remember the smell of wet dirt. You try to remember the sound of the peepers in the pond. It is hard to believe that the sun will ever be hot again. It is hard to believe that the green will return. Right now, the world is a blue and white marble. It is a dead thing. But then you look at the child. She moves her hand. She grabs the edge of the blanket. She is dreaming. She is alive. That is the spring. That is the green. The life is inside this room. Everything else is just weather. You hear a sound from the roof. It is a loud, structural groan. The snow is too heavy. You look up at the rafters. You see the wood bowing. The great snow is trying to crush you. It cannot freeze you, so it will bury you. You stand up. You take a long pole used for the curtains. You reach up. You poke the ceiling. You hear the snow slide. A massive weight falls from the roof. The house shakes. The windows rattle. You hear the thud of the snow hitting the ground outside. The rafters straighten. You have saved the roof. You sit back down. You are exhausted. Your eyes are heavy. The warmth of the room is a lullaby. You must not sleep. You start to tell yourself a story. You tell the story of the first day you met Mary. It was a summer social. There was cider. There was music. You wore your best linen shirt. She wore a yellow ribbon in her hair. You remember the heat of that day. You remember the dust on the road. You use the heat of that memory to fight the sleep. You imagine the yellow ribbon. You see it fluttering in the wind. It is not white. It is not grey. It is bright, screaming yellow. It is the color of the sun. You hold on to that color. You paint the inside of your mind with it. You are no longer in a frozen cabin. You are in a field of daisies. You are holding a cup of cold water. You are breathing the scent of clover. You stay in that field for a long time. You stay there until the fire begins to dim again. You wake from your waking dream. The room is getting dark. The coals are turning to ash. You look at the clock. It is 5 in the morning. The sky outside the frosted window is no longer black. It is a deep, cold blue. The dawn is coming. It is a winter dawn. It will not be warm. It will not be bright. But it is light. The light is the end of the night. You take the last of the oak planks. You put them on the coals. You blow on them. You watch the smoke curl. You watch the spark catch. The flame returns. You have made it. You look at the bed. Your daughter's eyes are open. She is looking at you. She is not coughing. She looks tired. She looks small. But she is there. She sees you. "Father," she whispers. Her voice is like the break of a thin piece of ice. It is the most beautiful sound you have ever heard. You go to her. You take her hand. "I am here," you say. "I am right here." The winter has not taken her. The footsteps are gone, but the family remains. The blue light of dawn filters through the thick frost on the windows. It is a cold light. It does not bring heat, but it brings clarity. You can see the room now. It looks like a battlefield. The floor is covered in wood chips and ash. The table is gone. The chairs are missing their rungs. The house has been stripped to keep the small circle of the hearth alive. But when you look at the bed, none of that matters. Your daughter is sitting up. She is leaning against the headboard. Her face is still pale, but the waxen look is gone. There is a faint pink tint to her cheeks. She is looking at the room with curious eyes. She sees the broken furniture. She sees the axe leaning against the wall. She sees you. You are a sight to behold. Your beard is matted. Your clothes are stained with sweat and melted snow. Your eyes are bloodshot from the long watch. You look like a man who has returned from a war. In many ways you have. You reach for the blue bottle. It is time for another dose. You carefully measure the drops into the wooden spoon. Your hand is steady now. The fear has left you. It has been replaced by a deep, quiet resolve. You give her the medicine. She swallows it without a fight. She winces at the bitterness, but she takes it. This is the medicine of the valley. It is made of the earth. It is made of the strength of people who refuse to break. You look at Mary. She is still asleep under your heavy coat. You do not wake her. She needs this rest more than any medicine. She has been the anchor while you were the sail. You go to the window. You scrape away a fresh layer of frost. The world outside is terrifyingly beautiful. The storm has stopped. The wind has died down to a whisper. The sky is a pale, empty blue. It is the color of a robin's egg. But the land is unrecognizable. The snow has reached the eaves of the house. You are looking straight out at a flat plain of white. The barn is just a bump in the distance. The trees are gone. The fences are gone. It is a world without a single human mark. There are no tracks. There are no paths. It is the winter without footsteps in its most pure form. You realize that you are still trapped. The medicine is here, but the food is low. The wood is almost gone. The well is buried under 10 feet of ice. You are a king in a castle of snow, but your kingdom is empty. You feel a sudden, sharp hunger. Your stomach growls. It is a reminder that you are still a living man. You look for something to eat. You find a jar of dried apples in the back of the cupboard. There are only a few slices left. They are leathery and tough. You take one. You chew it slowly. You let the sweetness spread over your tongue. It is a small victory. You give 2 slices to your daughter. She eats them with a small smile. It is the first time you have seen her smile in a week. It is worth every mile of the walk. It is worth the frozen hands and the screaming lungs. You realize that the struggle is not over. The great snow will take weeks to melt. The sun is out, but it has no strength. It is a cold sun. It is a spectator in the sky. You must find a way to reach the barn. You must find a way to feed the horses. You must find a way to the woodpile. You look at the snowshoes. They are leaning by the door like loyal hounds. They are your only tools. You realize that you cannot wait for the world to come to you. You must go back out. You must be the one to make the first footsteps. You must carve a path where none exists. You feel a sense of purpose. It is a quiet fire in your chest. You are no longer afraid of the white void. You have been through its heart. You have seen its face. You know its secrets. You are Thomas. You are the Pathfinder. You look at your daughter one last time. She is closing her eyes. She is falling into a healthy sleep. You move to the door. You pick up the axe. You pick up the snowshoes. You are going to reclaim your world. You are going to dig. You are going to walk. You are going to survive. The silence of the morning is not a threat anymore. It is a challenge. You step out onto the porch. The air is so cold it makes your teeth ache. You strap on the ash wood shoes. You look out at the white sea. You take the first step. The snow crunches. You make a mark. It is a single, deep footstep. It is the first sign of life in a frozen land. You take another. You are walking again. You are building the future, one step at a time. The sun is a silver coin in the sky. It has no warmth. It is a bright, cold eye watching you struggle. You stand on the porch. You look at the vast white ocean that has swallowed your life. The silence of the morning is heavier than the roar of the storm. It is a thick silence. It is the sound of a world that has stopped breathing. You lift your right foot. The snowshoe is heavy. You swing it forward. You plant it on the crust. The ice cracks. It sounds like glass breaking under a hammer. You sink 4 inches. You lift your left foot. You move away from the house. You are heading for the barn. You need to see the animals. You need to know if life still exists in the stable. The horses are your brothers in labor. They have pulled your plow. They have carried your harvest. You cannot let them starve in the dark. Every step is a deliberate act of will. You are the first thing to move in this valley for 5 days. You feel the eyes of the world on you. The birds are gone. The squirrels are hidden. You are the only actor on a white stage. You reach the spot where the barn door should be. There is nothing but a smooth, rounded hump of snow. You use the axe. You do not chop. You use the handle to probe. You find the edge of the roof. You start to dig. You do not have a shovel. You have your hands. You have the flat side of the ash. Wood snowshoe. You scoop the powder. You throw it behind you. The snow is light, but there is so much of it. You work for an hour. Your breath comes in short, white bursts. You are sweating again. You stop to wipe your brow. The sweat freezes on your glove. You look back at the house. You see a small face at the window. It is your daughter. She is watching you. She is the reason you are digging. She is the reason you are not lying by the fire. You return to the work. You find the top of the stable door. You dig deeper. You reach the latch. It is buried under 4 feet of drift. You claw at the white wall. Finally, you feel the wood. You pull the latch. The door is heavy. It resists. You throw your shoulder against it. You grunt. The door swings inward an inch. You hear a sound from the darkness inside. It is a low whinny. It is the sound of a friend. You push harder. You squeeze through the gap. The smell hits you. It is the smell of hay and manure and warm animal bodies. It is the smell of life. It is the most beautiful scent in the world. You see the horses. Their eyes reflect the dim light from the door. They are shivering. Their breath is thick in the air. But they are standing. They have eaten most of the straw from their bedding. They are hungry. They are thirsty. You find the water trough. It is a block of ice. You take the axe. You swing. The ice shatters. You clear the shards. You find the bucket. You move to the back of the barn where the grain is stored. You find a bag of oats. You carry it to the stalls. The horses nuzzle your hands. Their noses are soft and velvety. They trust you. You feed them. You watch them eat. The sound of the chewing is a comfort. It is a rhythmic, peaceful sound. It means the world is still turning. You stay with them for a few minutes. You lean your head against the neck of the lead horse. He is warm. His heart is a slow, steady beat. You feel your own heart match the pace. You are not alone. You have the child. You have the wife. You have the horses. You are a community of survivors. You look at the hayloft. You need to get hay to the house. You need to get wood from the shed. The shed is another 20 feet away. You realize you are building a network of tunnels. You are an ant in a mound. You begin to dig toward the woodpile. You move the snow in blocks. You stack them like bricks. You are creating a canyon of white. The walls are higher than your head. The sky is a narrow blue ribbon above you. You feel safe in the trench. The wind cannot reach you here. You find the woodpile. It is covered in a thick tarp. You pull the tarp back. The logs are dry. They are solid. They are the gold of the winter. You take as many as you can carry. You head back to the house. You walk through your new canyon. You reach the porch. You drop the wood. The sound of the logs hitting the boards is a victory. It is the sound of a house that will stay warm. You go inside. The room is bright now. Mary is awake. She has made a small pot of mush from the last of the cornmeal. She looks at you. You found the horses, she asks. They are alive, you say. You sit by the fire. You feel the heat on your face. You are tired, but it is a good tiredness. It is the fatigue of a man who has done his duty. You look at your hands. They are scarred and red. They are the hands of a man who has fought the winter and won. You realize that the footsteps you made this morning will stay. The wind has died. The sun is holding the world still. You have reclaimed the path. You have reconnected the barn to the house. You have reconnected the present to the future. You are Thomas. You are the man who walked. You are the man who dug. You are the man who stayed. The sun reaches its highest point in the sky. It casts long, pale shadows across the white expanse. You stand in your canyon of snow. You look at the walls you have built. They are solid. They are straight. You feel a sense of pride. You have carved order out of the chaos of the storm. You go back to the house to check on the child. She is sitting up in bed. She is playing with a small wooden doll. Her movements are slow, but they are steady. The fever has left no trace of its fire. You feel the relief wash over you again. It is a physical wave. You sit at the broken table. You drink a cup of hot water. It is all you have. You think about the next few days. The snow will not melt soon. The air is too cold. The great snow of 1717 is a guest that will stay for a long time. You must prepare for the long haul. You need more than just wood. You need food. You think about the cellar. The cellar is under the kitchen floor. It holds the potatoes. It holds the salted pork. It holds the jars of preserved berries. You have plenty of food. You just have to reach it. The problem is the frost. The ground is frozen deep. The trapdoor in the kitchen is stuck. The wood has swollen from the damp. You take the axe again. You do not use the blade. You use the flat head. You tap the edges of the door. You listen to the sound. It is a dull thud. You tap harder. You move around the perimeter. You are waking up the wood. You feel the vibration in your feet. Finally, you hear a crack. It is a small sound. It is a victory. You wedge the blade of the axe into the seam. You lean your weight into it. The door groans. It resists. You pull with your whole body. Your muscles bulge. Your face turns red. With a loud snap, the door flies open. A smell of damp earth and cold stone rises from the dark. It is a wonderful smell. It is the smell of a full larder. You light a candle. You climb down the ladder. The cellar is cool, but it is not freezing. The earth protects its own. You see the bins of potatoes. They look like dusty brown stones. You see the hooks where the pork hangs. You see the rows of glass jars. You feel like a rich man. You gather a basket of supplies. You bring up a slab of bacon. You bring up a dozen potatoes. You bring up a jar of blueberries. You climb back into the kitchen. Mary is watching you. Her eyes go wide when she sees the food. She has been hungry for a long time. She has been hiding it from you. You see the hunger in her face now. You put the bacon in the pan. The sound of the sizzle is like music. It is a loud, happy sound. The smell of the fat fills the room. It pushes out the smell of damp wool and ash. It is the smell of a home. You cook the potatoes in the grease. You mash them with a fork. You give the first bowl to the child. She eats with a hunger that makes you smile. You give the second bowl to Mary. You take the third. You sit on the floor. You eat with your fingers. The food is hot. It is salt. It is life. You feel the strength returning to your limbs. You feel the blood moving faster in your veins. You are no longer a ghost. You are a man of flesh and bone. You look at the window. The light is starting to fade. The short winter day is coming to an end. The sky is turning a deep, royal purple. You know the cold will return with the dark. You must finish your work. You go back outside. You check the woodpile. You bring in enough logs for 2 days. You stack them against the wall. You check the horses one last time. They are calm. They are warm. You close the barn door and latch it tight. You walk back through your canyon. You look up at the stars. They are starting to appear in the darkening sky. They are bright and cold. They look like ice crystals on a blue velvet cloth. You reach the porch. You stomp the snow from your boots. You enter the house. The room is warm. The fire is steady. The child is asleep. Mary is sitting by the hearth, mending a torn stocking. It is a normal scene. It is a quiet scene. You realize that you have done it. You have brought the family through the worst of the great snow. You have survived the winter without footsteps. You have made your own path. You sit down in the last remaining chair. You watch the fire. You feel the weight of the day falling off you. You are tired, but you are at peace. You know that tomorrow will be hard. You know that the snow will still be there. But you are not afraid. You have the wood. You have the food. You have the love of your family. You close your eyes. You listen to the silence. It is no longer a heavy silence. It is a peaceful silence. It is the silence of a job well done. You are Thomas. You are the survivor. You are the man of the snow. The final night of the great struggle settles over the valley like a heavy velvet cloak. You sit by the hearth, watching the embers of the oak table glow a deep, pulsing red. The house is quiet. The wind has finally ceased its hollow mourning against the eaves. For the first time in a week, you do not hear the shifting of the snow or the groan of the rafters. You only hear the soft, rhythmic breathing of your family. Mary is asleep in the chair, her chin resting on her chest, her hands finally still in her lap. The child is deep in a healing slumber, her skin cool to the touch. Her spirit returned from the edge of the shadow. You feel a profound sense of stillness. It is the peace that comes after a long war. You look at your hands in the firelight. They are scarred, blistered, and worn. They are the tools that carved a life out of a white void. You realize that the world outside has changed forever. The landmarks of your youth are gone, buried under a weight that will take months to vanish. But you have changed too. You have discovered the depth of your own well. You have found that when the paths are erased, the heart knows the way home. You stand up and walk to the window. You scrape a small hole in the new frost. Outside, the moon is full and bright. It turns the snow into a sheet of polished silver. The world is a graveyard of white, yet it is also a womb. Beneath that crushing weight, the seeds are waiting. The roots are holding. The earth is not dead, it is only resting. You see your canyon, the deep trench you dug to the barn. In the moonlight, it looks like a black ribbon cut into the silver. It is your mark. It is your signature on the landscape. You think of Mr. Gable in the village, likely reading his books by a dying candle, and you hope he knows his snowshoes saved a soul today. You think of the Miller family, and the small spark you saw in their chimney. You are all connected by these invisible threads of survival. You realize that the winter did not come to kill you. It came to show you what you are made of. It came to strip away the furniture of your life until only the essential remained. And what remained was love. What remained was the will to take one more step when the legs refused to move. You return to the fire and add the very last plank of the oak table. The wood catches quickly, the flames dancing and licking the air. You watch the smoke rise up the chimney, a signal to the stars that you are still here. You are Thomas. You are a husband. You are a father. You are a man of the 1700s who stared into the white eyes of the great snow and did not blink. You feel the warmth seep into your bones, a deep and marrow, thick heat. Your eyelids grow heavy. The battle is over. The path is found. The child is safe. You lean your head back against the wall and let the flickering orange light pull you down into a dreamless, well-earned sleep. The fire is low now, and the room is perfectly still. You have traveled far tonight through the white silence of the 1700s. I hope the story of Thomas has brought you a sense of quiet strength and a deep, restful calm. Your own bed is warm, your door is safe, and the winter outside is only a story. Next time, we will journey to a lonely lighthouse on the edge of a frozen sea, where a widow keeps a flame alive against a storm that lasted 40 days. As a small gift for joining me tonight, I have left a link in the description to a high-quality audio recording of falling snow and crackling fire, perfect for helping you drift off into a deep sleep. Rest well, close your eyes, the morning will be bright. Good night.